I'd like to ask you about Lautrec.
Okay.
Okay, so the first time we meet him is in a cell in the undead
Yes.
parish.
Yes.
Why is he there?
Lautrec is someone who kills Anastasia the Firekeeper after we rescue him. And if you look at the undead parish, there is a Firekeeper soul on the altar. So it looks like Lautrec might have killed that Firekeeper and wanted to take her soul like he does with Anastasia or Anastasia, like he does with Anastasia. I'm talking to you, so I'm saying Anastasia,
You mean
like he did
Anastasia?
Anastasia.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, so like I think Lautrec might have killed the Firekeeper on the altar, and then with the intent of stealing her soul, like he does with Anastasia, but then he was captured and put in the cell after he killed her, and that's why the soul is there.
Who do you think captured and put him in the cell?
It might have been the channeler, the
Right.
dancing guy that because see they work for Seath and they're out looking for young women to for Seath to use in his experiments. So I'm guessing they went there looking for the Firekeeper. And when they arrived, they found like Lautrec had murdered her. So they locked Lautrec up. And that's why there's a channeler there. And that's why Lautrec's in a cell. Although where do we get the key? It's in a treasure chest, like the underneath the road leading to the parish. So like I guess they locked him up and put the problem is the key's not on a corpse, so it's hard to tell like who did it specifically.
Hmm.
But I think it was probably I keeping in mind I haven't played Dark Souls since 2014. Um, so like I think it was probably the channelers because they're outside. It might have been the Boulder Knights also
Hmm.
because there's a
True.
Boulder Knight outside of his cell.
Yeah.
And there's like a Baronite knight guarding kind of the corpse. So it could have been like they were guarding the fire. There's Boulder Knights in the chapel as well. So it could have been like maybe they were guarding the firekeeper, and when Lautrec killed her, they locked him up. Although they're hollow, so it's hard to tell like who did what. The channelers don't seem to be hollow, so I'm guessing it's probably them because they seem to still have free will.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And well, his cell is not far from the bell, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And and you can also summon him for the bell gargoyle fight.
yeah, yep. Yeah, because there's 2 triggers that will make Lautrec kill Anastasia. God, there's 2 triggers. The first one is if you pick up the Firekeeper's soul in, um, Undead Parish, and then you pick up the Firekeeper's soul in, I think, Blighttown. That makes him kill her. Or he will kill her regardless once both bells are rung.
Hmm.
So when you meet Lautrec as a hostile character, he is in Anor Londo. So I think he's probably trying to get to Anor Londo, and that's why he'll help you fight the Bell Gargoyles
I
because he
see.
wants to. And he also helps you fight the Gaping Dragon, which is on the way to Quaylime. So like he's probably trying to get both bells rung so he can go to Anor Londo because that's where we find him.
So is he trying to kill the other firekeepers as well?
Well, the Firekeeper in Anor Londo is fine when we get there.
Huh.
But I guess maybe he doesn't hurt her because she is like she's a knight. She's not like Anastasia's kind of hopeless. Like she's just like a kneeling woman behind this like grate. Like she can't really defend herself.
Yeah.
And the other firekeepers we run into can't either. Like even Quelaag's sister, who is like a giant spider monster, like she can't. She's sort of very weak and she can't defend herself. So I'm guessing like the Dark Moon Knightess Firekeeper is the odd one out and she can actually fight. So
Hmm.
he's left her. But it looks like he is it w- he drops a lot of humanity as well. Like if you use the dark hand thing that the dark wraiths have.
Yeah.
If you use that on Lautrec, you get a lot of humanity, more than you would for a normal NPC. So I think he might be trying to like collect as much humanity as possible to offer to Fina, the goddess who he's sworn to. And Firekeeper souls are a very, very good source. They give you 7 humanity if you use them, which is more than any other item in the game.
Hmm. So about Lautrec, he will give you a sunlight medal if you free him, right?
Maybe I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure he does. Obviously, I'm a lore professional who never gets anything wrong, so
Maybe Solaire locked him up. Well, where would you get them from? Because you have to get them from the warrior. Oh, that might be. You get a warrior. You get a sunlight medal if you with the warrior of sunlight. So maybe he's co-opted with Solaire before
oh,
because
yeah.
they're both summonable for the same bosses. Because you can get Solaire for the Bell Gargoyles
Oh,
and
that's
Solaire for
true.
the Gaping Dragon. So I guess he's got it from that.
Hmm. Cool. And so you talked about the goddess Fina. Could you talk a little about her? What do you know about her?
All we know about Fina is that Lautrec worships her. And Lautrec's armor is it's very distinct and it has these arms molded onto the front of it to make it look like he's being held. So the idea is that he's so dedicated to Fina that his armor is molded so that it looks like she is always embracing him. He's called Lautrec the Embraced in a few places. And he wears the Ring of Favor and Protection, which is a ring that's associated with Fina. And specifically, the Ring of Favor and Protection, once you put it on you, if you take it off, it will break.
Hmm.
So if you dedicate yourself to Fina, it's like you have to stay dedicated to her. If you stray at all, it's a bad thing. You're not supposed to like worship any other god or goddess apart from Fina. So that's why her ring, yeah, it will break if you take it off.
Cool. And do you think like he worships her, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's like a one-sided relationship where she doesn't really care, or is that
Well,
like,
it's we never see anything else of her. Like it's similar to Leonard and Rosaria, where like
hmm
they both end up in Anor Londo in near Guinevere's chamber, but like I think the idea is that he went to Anor Londo looking for her. And then when he got there, he realized all the gods had left except Gwendolyn.
Mm, all right.
But yeah, we never see or hear anything of Fina outside of item descriptions relating to Lautrec.
Okay. So how do we know that she was an actual goddess and not just something he sort of
Well,
imagined or
well, she might not have been. Like we don't
oh.
know. But I think the idea is like he went to Anor Londo to see her,
Hmm.
and then when he got there, he realized everyone's gone and it's just an illusion. And he
Hmm.
may or may not know it. He may or may not know that Gwendolyn's keeping the whole place running. But
Oh, that's true, yeah.
yeah. Oh, actually, when you encounter him, do you encounter him in Dark Anor? I think you do. No, it's regular Anor Londo. Never mind. I guess like if it was Dark Anor Londo, you could say he killed Gwendolyn, but he hasn't.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He hasn't killed Gwendolyn. He hasn't dispelled the Guinevere illusion.
Hmm. Right.
Mm.
And Lautrec sounds a little bit like Lothric. What's the
Do you,
connection
do you
there?
do you know who he sounds a little like?
Who?
He sounds a little like Patches because it's the same actor.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh my
Lautrec is just it's
god!
Patches' voice actor like deepening his voice slightly and trying to sound scary. So when the Ringed City came out and there was Lap and he had Patches' voice actor, I was the idiot saying, "No, it's clearly not Patches," because that voice actor has played multiple characters before.
Oh my
And
goodness.
obviously, they wouldn't be stupid enough to have an entire DLC revolve around a future incarnation of Patches.
Oh, but Miyazaki is like full of surprises, right?
Did
So
Miyazaki even work on the DLCs? I don't know if he did. I think those were all Tanemura based on an interview.
well, there's another surprise. All right, cool. Is there anything else you know about him that that could be enlightening?
Uh, he he seems to know or at least be acquainted with Petrus.
Who's Petrus again?
Petrus is he's the cleric who's initially at Firelink Shrine before Rhea shows up.
Okay. Oh,
And
right. Okay.
yeah, and he is a similar type of character to Lautrec in that he is a murderer, and
Mhm.
he wants to murder Rhea. He wants to
Right.
murder Rhea of Thoroland. So, like, when Lautrec moves back to this is um if you rescue Lautrec, like most people, because they know the game kind of back to front at this point, don't see this. But like, if you rescue Lautrec and send him back to Filing Shrine, but before you move to Anolondo, if you go back there, Lautrec will be at Filing Shrine, and he will give you information in exchange for souls.
Okay.
He'll tell you where Rhea of Thoroland is. He tells you that she's fallen and she's trapped in the catacombs with Vincent Nico. And he says that he heard that from a fleeing old man, meaning Petrus.
Mm. Okay.
So, like, at some point, he ran into Petrus when Petrus was running back from the catacombs, and Petrus told him that story. But they're very similar characters because, like, they're both characters who murder a young woman to get something from them.
Mhm.
And interestingly, where Petrus murders Rhea is where the Firekeeper soul is in Undead Parish. So they even kind of like maybe kill them in the same place.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it.
That's all right.
I learned a lot today. I know, I'm not a noob. I'm asking
Yeah,
why is he in that cell?
yeah, I'm getting there.
I'm practicing attitude. Come on.
Okay, it's working. It's working. You can get lessons from, and soon you'll just start telling me I'm an idiot and kill myself because my ideas are so bad.
I have to cut that out. Oh my god. I'm gonna get hate mail from.
He's not gonna watch it. He doesn't care about this anymore. He's given up.
He's moved on with life.
He's moved on with his life.